Welcome to the second grade class presentation of our ancestors. Let's start from the very beginning and find out where our ancestors came from. My ancestors came from Australia. My ancestors came from Poland. My ancestors came from Iran. My ancestors came from China. My ancestors came from China. My ancestors came from Holland. My ancestors came from China. My ancestors came from Japan. My ancestors came from China.
My ancestors came from Nigeria.
My ancestors came from India. My ancestors came from India. My ancestors came from Italy. My ancestors came from Russia. My ancestors came from Greece. My ancestors came from England. My ancestors came from Poland. My ancestors came from China. My ancestors came from China. My ancestors came from Afghanistan. My ancestors came from China. My ancestors came from Russia. My ancestors came from China. Each student in our second grade class has created a poster that reflects on their family, heritage, values, and traditions. We hope you enjoy viewing them. As you can see, our ancestors came from many different places. Now we know why America is called a melting pot of people, cultures, and ideas. Many people came from completely different places, but they still have something really interesting in common. Most of our families entered the United States through Ellis Island. Ellis Island was a place in New York Harbor where immigrants traveled by ship from Europe. Their papers were inspected, their health was checked, and they had to answer questions about coming to the United States. When they spoke of that very first day in America, they were very nervous. Yet, they were very excited about the challenges awaiting them in this new land of opportunity. Gonna make this my land, starting from today. Above my islands, I am here to stay. Hello, Ellis Island, hello, USA. Hello, artwork called Newland to honor our family's journeys to the United States. The pastel drawings show biplanes crossing the ocean in search of new opportunities. Each plane carries our ancestors' name, country of origin, and trait they deeply valued. Although they left behind their homeland, friends, and family, they brought their traditions and values with them as they began their new adventures.
The search for freedom and new opportunities were some of the reasons our ancestors left their homelands to come to America. Now let's hear some of those fascinating stories about our ancestors.
My great-great-great-great-great paternal grandparents, William and Judith Cooper, were born in England in the early 1800s. In 1848, they made the brave decision to leave England and travel by ship to Australia with their 8 children. Their journey took about 3 months and was dangerous. They settled in South Australia to build a new life. Their son Joel Cooper grew up to be an explorer, traveling through the northern Australia and mapping new land. My great-great-grandfather, Earl E. Blazinski, born in 1926, could not swim as a young boy. While staying with his grandmother and his Uncle Johnny in Philadelphia, he could just not seem to get the knack of swimming. Uncle Johnny was frustrated by Earl's reluctance to get under the water, so Uncle Johnny walked with Earl to the banks of the Delaware River and tossed him in. With a sink or swim moment, he survived. Earl learned to swim so much that as a teenager, he was tempted to join a gang of boys called the River Rats. A river rat had to successfully swim across the Delaware River from Chester, Pennsylvania to New Jersey, over 2 miles. This was much wider than the distance where the Army under General Washington crossed the Delaware River north of Trenton and Philly. Guess what? Earl made it across the river despite the strong current and cargo ships moving north and south. He was a river rat, and his children, grandchildren, and now great-granddaughter all swim well.
My great-grandpa was born in a small town in northwest China. When he was a child, there were wars and life was very hard. Even though it was difficult, he caught any opportunity to learn and went to college and studied mechanical engineering. After his graduation, he worked full-time and took every chance to keep learning. He learned other languages like Japanese and Russian to study new techniques from other countries. Because he worked so hard, my great-grandpa became very good at his job and helped set up one of the biggest mechanical factories in China at that time.
My great-great-grandpa Liu Yik Lin was born in 1862 in Jiangshan, China. He was my paternal grandma's grandfather. Great-great-grandpa Liu was one of only 120 boys between the ages of 11 and 15 years old who were sent to study in the United States and bring back Western knowledge to China. In 1910, he became the first and only ambassador to Britain from China under the Qing dynasty. He was appointed again as the first ambassador to Britain for the Republic of China when the dynasty collapsed and served until he retired in 1914. His service brought him to London where he became a good friend of King George V, and to South Africa where he fought for justice for the Chinese miners working there and eventually returned to China to spend the rest of his years in Macau. My great-grandfather was a brave soldier who served as a secretary to a high-ranking general in the war. After the war, he moved to Taiwan, but he risked his life to return to mainland China because he missed his family so deeply. On his journey, he was kidnapped by bandits and his family had to use gold bars to rescue him. He lost his fortune, but he regained his family. His story shows me that love is the greatest treasure of all.
My great-great-grandfather's name was Ping Yang. He was a teacher who cared deeply about children and education. He believed that children should learn from both books and real life. He helped start a school for deaf children in Shanghai so that every child could have a chance to learn. Our family is proud of him, and his love for education continues to inspire us today.
Some of my family comes from a place called Arago in northwest Nigeria. Historically, Arago was found long ago by one of my ancestors named Ajagun, a Yoruba prince. He was supposed to be king, but instead his little brother got the crown. Ajagun felt sad and mad, so he decided to go on a long walk. He walked for hundreds of miles until he found a beautiful spot full of green grass, sparkling rivers, and waterfalls. Ajagun liked this place so much, he decided to stay and build a new community. Over time, others came to join him, and together they became hunters, farmers, and makers of wonderful things.
My great-grandmother, Antiba, grew up in a small village in Gujarat, India called Garana. Her family was doing well until one day their lumber business caught fire and they lost almost everything overnight. After that, her husband never fully recovered from the shock and went to the forest for long periods of time, leaving Antiba to care for the family. Antiba had 6 children, including my grandfather, and she worked on farms to keep her family going. Money was so tight that she even had to send 2 of her sons to an orphanage for a few years so they would be cared for while she tried to keep the family afloat. Even though she only went to school until 3rd grade, Antiba believed strongly in education and insisted that all her children should study. Her oldest daughter became the first girl in the village to go away to boarding school for higher education, even when many village elders disapproved. Her family remembers how hard those years were. In fact, my grandfather didn't even have shoes to wear until 8th grade. But they also remember Antiba as an incredibly brave leader who helped everyone get through those hard times and still dream bigger. We owe a lot of the life we have today to Antiba's strength and determination.
My story is about one of my Italian great-great-grandmothers. Her name was Anjanetta. She was born near Genoa, Italy, and lived most of her life in Rhode Island. She had 18 children, including my paternal grandfather's mother. She would feed her family fresh vegetables grown in her garden. She looked after my grandfather after school and would feed him Italian food like stuffed zucchini, squash blossoms. She was a very hard-working woman.
My maternal grandfather's name is Sergei Yakovlev. He always loved water activities, particularly swimming. He was also the top diver on his school scuba diving team. When he was around 16 years old in Vladivostok, Russia, he went camping with his close friend in the nearby Siberian forest. The trek to the campsite was treacherous, with creeks and rugged terrain along the way. After several days of hunting, hiking, and exploring, it was time to return home. However, as they began their journey back, a strong typhoon was passing through their area. All of the creeks they had previously crossed were now flooding from the storm. As there was no other way home, they were now forced to cross what became a rushing river. His friend entered the water first and was quickly swept away by the current. My grandfather knew his friend was not a strong swimmer and noticed that he was struggling to keep afloat. As he drifted away and began to submerge, my grandfather had no choice but to dive into the water in an extremely dangerous situation. When he reached his friend, he was beginning to drown. My grandfather had to use all of his strength and swimming skills to pull his friend to safety. His friend was always grateful that my grandfather saved his life. My grandpa was a true hero on that day.
My grandfather came to the United States a long time ago. He arrived at Ellis Island in 1961. When he was 11 years old, he came from San Miguel Island in the Azores, Portugal. When he arrived, he moved to Massachusetts to live with his older brother and sister. He did not speak any English at first. My grandfather went to a one-room school. His teacher was very kind and helped him learn English. She tutored him and gave him a newspaper to read every day as practice. He worked very hard, and with her help, he did well in school. He graduated from high school, became a United States citizen, joined the U.S. Navy, and later opened his own successful business.
My grandma, Mei Hua, was 17 years old in 1970, and she lived near a really big river called the Yangtze River in a place called Yangzhou. One day, she wanted to do something super fun and exciting, so she decided to swim all the way across the huge river. Everyone told her it was too dangerous and the water was too deep, but my grandma was very brave and strong. She jumped into the cold water and started swimming as hard as she could. The water was so wide it took her a really long time to get to the other side, and the water kept trying to push her away, but she never gave up. When she finally made it across, she was very tired, but also very happy because she did something amazing that most people couldn't do. My grandma was the bravest person ever, and when I grow up, I want to be brave like her too.
During the last 2 months, we have been asking our parents and grandparents many questions about them, our heritage, and family. Some things we wanted to know about were family values and traditions that have been passed down from generation to generation.
Even though we came from many different countries and backgrounds, we discovered that we share many of the same values.
An heirloom is a valuable object that has belonged to a family for several generations. Please listen to these lyrics by Amy about what an heirloom really is. Up in the attic, down on my knees, lifetime of boxes, time was to me. Letters and photographs, yellowed with years, some bringing laughter, some bringing tears. Time never changes the memories, the faces.
loved ones who bring to me
all that I come from and all that I live for is all that I'm going to be.
My precious family is more than an heirloom to me. Many of us have priceless heirlooms to share with you today.
Painted vase is from Isfahan, Iran, and it has been in my family for generations. It was first given by my great-grandparents to my great-grandmother and then to my grandmother Hamijun. I hope it will remain in our family for generations to come as a symbol of Iran's cultural riches and artistic talents.
My great-great-grandfather came to Ellis Island from the Netherlands in 1850. One family heirloom that my grandpa had is a pair of Dutch wooden shoes, an icon of the Netherlands. The Dutch did not invent the wooden shoes, but they adapted them from previous Roman sandals. The Netherlands has been a trading center for centuries, traveling worldwide to trade goods like their wooden shoes. During that time, many of the Dutch population were farmers and manual laborers. These wooden shoes provided more insulation to protect their feet from the cold and water. They were more comfortable because they were fitted to the feet and kept their feet warm when it was cold and cool when it was hot. The wooden shoes were also affordable, durable, and provided good foot protection. The main characteristics of these wooden shoes were painting and decoration. The traditional Dutch wooden shoe is yellow with decorations, often tulips or windmills.
My heirloom is a Japanese bag that is about 120 years old. It belonged to my great-great-grandmother. Her family was a samurai family until 150 years ago. We have many pieces of traditional clothing that were passed down to my grandmother and then to my mother. Someday I will own this bag.
For my family heirlooms, I am choosing gold necklaces and pendants. The first one was given to my grandmother Neelaba from her grandmother Kasiba. The second one is also a gold necklace and pendant that was given to my dad from his grandparents Nithutat and Suryuba. Gold is very auspicious in Indian culture, and though I don't get to wear the necklaces and pendants every day right now, I do get to wear them on special occasions like weddings.
This statue is from the 1700s and belonged to a family in King Louis' court at Versailles. After the French Revolution, many of those families sold their treasures, and this statue was included. My great-great-grand-aunt brought it, and it has been passed down in our family ever since.
This is a rose gold wedding ring that is very special to my family.
It is the only thing that my great-grandmother had after World War II. She had to hide during the war to stay safe. When she came back to her hometown, her nanny's family, who had helped care for her and had sheltered her at the beginning of the war, gave her this ring. My great-grandmother did not know that her father had given the ring to the nanny's family before the war. He did this because he thought the rest of the family might not survive, and he hoped she would live to receive it. This ring has become our most meaningful family heirloom, and both my grandma and my mom were married wearing it.
In our family, food has always meant more than just a meal. We believe good food can heal people and bring families together. This heirloom recipe of braised beef has been passed down through our family for 4 generations. It began with my great-grandfather, who was a chef. He spent his entire career cooking for students at a local Air Force Logistics Academy. He loved cooking. My grandmother served as the CFO of a well-known local hotel for 15 years. She loves food. Today, my mother continues this tradition at home. She cooks for our family with love and care, and we love her. This braised beef recipe has now been passed down to the 4th generation to me. We are proud to share it as our family heirloom and hope that everyone who hears about it can feel the warmth and love behind it. Here's a copy of the recipe and pictures of the delicious dish. The next day, the beef can be sliced to make beef noodle soup or cut into chunks and stewed with tomatoes. This is our family's unique and treasured food tradition, one that carries love, history, and care into every bite.
This is traditional Afghan jewelry that is made from lapis lazuli, a deep blue stone from Afghanistan. It symbolizes wisdom, truth, and royalty. Whenever my grandfather goes to Afghanistan, he brings back jewelry for us, including these necklaces, rings, and bracelets. This gold coin necklace is very special to my family, and it has had a long journey. My great-grandmother brought it with her from Hong Kong many years ago when she traveled to a new place. She kept it safe and gave it to her son, and later it was passed down to my dad as a family treasure. Now the necklace has been passed to me, and I am proud to wear it. In my family, it is passed from father to son so we can remember our ancestors and where we came from. One day, when I am older, I hope to pass it on to and continue our family story.
A long time ago, my great-great-great-grandfather, who was a teacher at Siberian school, was standing in front of his class and telling his students about the Caribbean Sea inhabitants. He told the kids about corals, tropical fish, and friendly people on the islands. Then a young boy raised his hand and said, "Teacher, do you think one day I will go to the Caribbean?" "Well, Philip," my grandfather said, "yes, you will, if you dream big." There was a knock on the door of my grandfather's house 40 years later. It was Philip, who became the captain of an ocean ship, traveled the world, and brought his old teacher a piece of the Caribbean, a coral necklace. Now that coral necklace is being passed on from generation to generation as a reminder to keep dreaming big. This artwork was made by my grandmother. She embroidered a picture of the god of wealth. My grandmother hoped our family would be rich when we came to America. It is important to me because it reminds me of my grandmother and shows how much she cared about our family.
Although our ancestors have come from many different places, we are all proud to be Americans.
We had fun finding out what moments in history were important and memorable to our parents and grandparents. Many of our grandparents said that the world events that greatly affected their lives were the beginning of the Cold War, the Civil Rights Movement, the first man on the moon, and the Vietnam War.
Most of our parents said the most important world events in their lives was the fall of Berlin Wall, 9/11, the launch of the World Wide Web, and the rise of MTV.
Even though our ancestors lived through some difficult times, we are still lucky to live in this great land of America. Listen to how this land belongs to you and me. Besides finding out what historical events were important to our ancestors, we were amazed at the things that were invented in our grandparents' and parents' time. It's hard to believe that iPhones, Xbox, and smartwatches were not part of their childhood. Our grandparents told us that VHS player, microwave oven, and the computer were amazing inventions in their lives. Our parents told us that cell phones, laptops, hybrid, and electric cars were the most remarkable inventions in their generation.
It is hard for us to imagine leaving our friends, family, and country to travel to a new foreign land where the customs and language are totally different. Our ancestors took advantage of the freedom and opportunity offered in this land. They worked hard to create a better life for their children and grandchildren.
Though most of our ancestors are not here today, we send them a big thank you because we are honored to say that America's our home.
We can all stand proud and tall. We're free to be anything at all. And no one's gonna take away our dreams. America's our home. It belongs to you and me. Let's make this land we love a land of peace and harmony. From its cities, farms, and fields to its mountains high above. America's our home. It's the country that we love. You can take the clothes that I wear, take my money and I won't care, 'cause I'll be fine as long as I am free.
The time's come to stand up tall, to join together one and all, and stand out in perfect harmony.
America's our home, it belongs to you and me. Let's make this land we love a land of peace and harmony. From its cities, farms, and fields to its mountains high above. America's our home, and it's the country that we love. From the valleys and mountains in Europe, we came to build the bridges and farm the lands. From the crowded cities of the Orient, we came to build the railroads and make the clothing. From the shores of the Black Sea, we came to man the factories and mine the resources. We all came to America and followed our dreams. For many people, we became one. America's our home. It belongs to you and me. Let's make this land we love a land of peace and harmony. From its cities, farms, and fields to its mountains high above. America's our home, and it's the country that we love.
Wow, amazing. I, on behalf of Mrs. Hancock, have to begin by thanking all of you in the audience. If you remember back to September and back to school night, we told you there'd be some involvement. You guys rose to the occasion. I know all those emails were overwhelming, but I hope you now agree that it was worth it. And I want to thank Mr. Sanchez for recording today's work. Mr. Spurgis, our wonderful music director. Mrs. Robinson, who always helps and helped with Karen. parents who hung those beautiful posters. And to all of you that brought food today. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. One more. Oh yes, we would like you to join us.
Yes.
Stand up, please, for America the Beautiful.
in this really special and unique show. I started this like 30 years ago, and it still makes me cry. It's still my favorite to be able to just see the rich history of all of our families, where we come from, and that we're really not that different. So thank you all, and hopefully the kids will remember this experience their whole life and know how to be together as one. So thank you all. I think, are we going to try to get some group pictures? A group picture, and then there's a class party afterwards. And Mrs. Hancock is so sad she is not here today, but I want to thank Mrs. Hancock and Mrs. Colley for doing a great job getting the kids ready.